Okay, I'd like to call Lake Ripley Management District Board of Directors meeting to order July 18th, 9 a.m. Roll call, we have Laura, Doug, and Debbie are all on vacation today, all excused. The rest are here, and we do have a quorum. Okay, any public comment today? Okay, Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny.
Okay. Can you sit down?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Please.
Yep. Hey, guys.
Morning,
Hello,
John.
how are you?
Yeah, good.
Good.
I'm sure you guys have all seen the for sale sign by the inlet property next to the Ripley Inn.
Yes.
Yeah, it's up for sale. Yeah, I would assume that would be a target spot for the Lake District. You know, the inlet stream, be able to own it. Yeah. I just direct your attention to the realtor's description of the property. They're describing it as a possible marina location. In the realtor's description online, yeah, that's a concern. I don't think it is, but yeah, I'm sure you're gonna say, well, but you might wanna talk to the realtor and straighten them out. Okay, and other thing is I just got back from the Boundary Waters. Okay, so you probably, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you've probably seen the stuff about the protection of the Boundary Waters and the sulfide mining that they're trying to do. It's been going back and forth, and now they snuck it into one of the bills and passed it through Congress, so now they've removed all the protections for the area. The Boundary Waters is not a national park, it's a wilderness area, and it's described, legally it's a multi-use area, you know, for you know, recreation, logging, all that. So, you know, it's going to be a fight. There's a South American company that has a horrible track record of mining. Every single mine that they've had is polluted, you know, and the water up there flows north, and this is a mine that they're proposing for right on the southern edge. So all that water flows to Hudson Bay, so it would flow right through, you know, it's 2 million acres of the most pristine water anywhere. You can drink the water out of the lakes. You know, it's that clean, and the administration wants to build a mine right on it. So I urge you, like when you see this, you know, I'm sure Leanna's nodding her head yes, she knows all about it. So, you know, it's just criminal that they would do something like that. You know, probably, you know, I'll be dead by the time something would happen, but the grandkids won't. So.
Do they have an association or some kind of a group that we could write to for support or something? That's it?
Friends of the Boundary Waters.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's that, and there's Save the Boundary Waters. You know, if you like them or follow them online, you know, you can get all the pertinent information. But it's, you know, what they're doing is just criminal. You know, and you know, I'm as much at fault as anybody because I have a phone that has those precious metals in it, and that's what they're after. And the problem is that the copper, zinc, all those, they're easily mined. But the way they do it is they strip the ground, and then the tailings get dumped, and then that creates sulfide. Yeah, Leanna's nodding her head. So I urge you, you know, spread the word because it's important to me.
Maybe the board could draft a letter of support. You know, maybe we can
Well,
do something like that.
yeah, if you Google it, you're going to get all kinds of things like contact your congressman, your senator, and just a button you hit, and they've got it set up really cool. It auto loads all your information if you got it on, and then it sends a letter, you know, to Tammy Baldwin and Johnson and
We can look at that.
and Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
You know, so I've written him a number of times. Fitzgerald is not a conservationist.
No,
No. So
that's an
you know,
understatement.
the real solution is for us to elect some people that are, you know, concerned about the environment.
Thanks for that, John.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Check out the realtors listing, you guys. You know, that's concerning.
Thank you for your input, John. Thank you. Okay, any other public comment today? Doesn't look like it. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Approval of the minutes of the June 21st meeting. If you have a copy of those minutes in front of you, take a moment to read through. And I'll entertain a motion to approve when ready.
I move to approve the minutes of the June 21st, 2025 board meeting.
Okay, Meg's made a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Steve, second. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Okay, seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved, thank you. Okay, we'll move into Debbie's treasurer's report. Debbie's not here today, so I will do the best I can to relay the information. You all have Debbie's reports in the file here in your packets. So for June report, the disbursements for the period amount of $37,447 as detailed in attached listings. The asset balance for the month consists of the checking account of $184,250. The investment account in the CDs, we have $108,821.78, and the other CD is $57,398.30. And we are currently running on our savings account $50,035.07. There's nothing else in the other items.
Can we assume that it's accurate that there were no receipts?
No what?
Correct. You can assume that it's accurate.
Okay.
Is there no what?
Receipts.
Receipts. Yeah.
Because it's blank up there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I knew she was gone.
Right. No, she filled this out beforehand.
Okay.
Yes, this is
Thanks for that.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
for that. And then you have the individual accounts, as you see in detailed by line item. Just all the normal stuff. We're starting to see a little bit more probably in the wages for wheat harvesters because they've been very busy.
Mhm.
Garnishments are there, the stipends are there, the turtle signs came in at $325, so that's done. The insurance and the payroll, quick trip receipt came in at $245.95. Was that just gas? I'm not sure what that all was. But
Yep,
probably
fuel, gas,
Mhm.
Yep, for the harvesters
and for the trucks.
and for the trucks.
And we
So
get
that's-
ice there if needed, so
Yep.
various
The lease bill
accounts.
is 802, that would have been covering what? I wonder.
well, I don't have that information in front of me, but it's a slew of things, anything from preserve management to general lake management, vehicle expenses.
So,
But if you have any questions, come to my office during the week. I have all those bills in front of me.
okay, thank you. Yeah, so normal.
Yeah,
Visa
nothing out of the
charges.
ordinary.
Normal Visa charges for the month. And then, of course, we have the payroll and the pension, so nothing unusual there. Debbie's always provided us a rolling total kind of thing to look at. I guess that's
We do
how
not
this
have
is.
a
Yeah, I don't see
financial
that here.
spreadsheet today.
Yeah, I don't see that here either.
Nope,
so,
that's not it.
yeah. So I think that's it for Debbie's report.
Pretty easy month.
Mm-hmm.
So are there any questions of the report? Yeah, I think I did best I could. I don't have anything else to share.
There wasn't really anything of note.
Right.
Everything was pretty normal. State lab of hygiene expenses, like you said, payroll, all the normal stuff, so.
So just normal stuff. So I'll
I guess the
entertain-
one thing I can say is that we did pay out Willerup Bible Camp. That's that $9,549.50. So that's over and done with. I guess that's really the only major thing that happened.
That was the final payment, so
Correct.
that's done.
Yay.
So I'll entertain a motion to, somebody want to approve the report?
I'll approve.
Okay, so George made a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Steve second. Okay, any other discussions on the treasurer's report? All right, seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, we're all done with that. And we'll move on to Oakland Town Representative. Laura's not here today. It's just normal stuff at the town. We did spend a lot of time in the meeting on Tuesday talking about the new proposed boat launch for the town. So we gave Strand permission to move forward with the proposal in the board meeting, so they'll be working on that. And there are probably going to be some grant funding available for that project. So there's 2 grants that we're eyeing up. So there's a good possibility that most, if not all, of that reconstruction of the boat ramp could be covered under grant funding. So that process is moving forward. That's kind of the biggest thing that we talked about as far as dealing with Lake District things. So that's really, and also we're monitoring the Enbridge stuff currently, and so is the town too. So there's really no updates for the town. So That's really all I have to update on town stuff. Jefferson County, do you have any updates, Meg?
The only thing I was going to mention is that the budget that was passed by and signed by the governor did increase the funding for Conservation Department, which pays the Jefferson County support that the Lake District gets from people like Colton and Patricia, et cetera. And the way the law is written is that it's supposed to cover one full-time person at the highest paid person, a second full-time person at 75%, and a third at 50%, and it has never covered any of those people, not since like 2006. And so what this funding, because the base funding had always been like around $8,000 or something like that. So now they have raised this amount. It's going to bring a little over $200,000, we estimate, into the department, so that it's not coming out of general funds of the county to pay those roles, which hopefully will help the budget in other places.
That's great.
So it doesn't cover all three fully. They're not fully covered, and it was not, they didn't raise the base. It's one-time, 2-year funding once
Why?
again because of the legislature.
Yeah.
So they had stripped it out, and the only reason it's back in was a lot of lobbying. And I really want to stress that. It was, they got hammered by just Wisconsin Counties Association and Wisconsin Land and Water just went out and did a whole real push. They heard from hundreds of people that they needed this funding for the counties, and that's the only reason it went in the budget.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
that's all I really have. There hasn't been much happening.
Okay, good
Otherwise.
information, well, thank you for the updates.
That's
Okay,
a
any
good
questions for
positive
Meg?
note, too.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Meg? All right, we'll move on to Lake Manager's Report, Lana Spencer.
Awesome. Busy month this month.
At 8 million, not 8,000. Sorry, the 8 in my head.
Too funny. QuickBooks is going to be really useful. I've been learning it this month. It's a really great program, able to track my budgets easily. So I'm happy that you guys allowed me to do that. So thank you. Just a thing of note, I will be on vacation August 4th through the 8th. I believe Jimmy is also out of town. So if you need someone, we'll probably designate one of you guys to funnel some calls. Maybe we'll ask Laura, because she's already getting them. Grants. I finally closed out that Phragmites grant. I received my $12,000 reimbursement check, so that's good news there. All of our deliverables were accepted. Tony, our Clean Boats, Clean Waters watercraft inspector, was able to install those tools that we bought at the boat launch. So now when people are at the boat launch and they pull their boats out, they can use the tools to help them get invasive species off of their boats. So that's good news. I'm working on the nearshore non-game fish survey report. That should be done by the end of the year, so we'll get an update a little later on that. I met with Stantec. There's some really good bank survey information and PLET survey information. We're coming up with some good ideas. I did exchange some emails with the Silver Linings Foundation. They're really supportive of trying a pilot test project somewhere along the inlet stream, something that they may be able to fund entirely, and see if that's a good best management practice to have installed there and see how it reacts in that hot spot. So we're making progress, even more progress than I thought we would this year. So really exciting times. Enbridge oil spill, always having conversations with Laura at the town and Caroline Rice at the DNR and at the county. Enbridge has completed the installation of their monitoring wells and one SBE pilot test well. So that's interesting and to note. And they're also continuing product management activities from the riser pipes. So any remaining oil that's stuck under that building, they're continuously retrieving out of those riser pipes. I also got my results back, our water quality results with the Enbridge sampling. There were no PAHs or VOCs detected, which is great news. If y'all remember, we added PAHs, those polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, as well as the volatile organic compounds, just to make sure neither of those compounds and chemicals were being found in the inlet stream. So Enbridge has reimbursed us for that already, so that's great. They've been really, under the circumstances, good to work with. So I appreciate their willingness and
that independent testing will continue.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're doing independent testing from what Enbridge is doing, and then we compare, right? So-
yes, through the end of the year. We do it quarterly until 2025, and then we will look into it again and see what the next year will hold. Organized loop around the lake, that is going to be happening this Monday. So that's the survey where we count all of the boats and piers and boat lifts and kayaks and all that stuff. So next meeting we'll have some interesting data on there. We'll see what our lake is looking at.
I usually am able to go to that. I can't go this time, but I will report on it in the annual meeting. So thanks to Leanna for that.
Of course. Mark Baldock and I he's the DNR fisheries biologist. We're going to have some conversations about the panfish and walleye populations on Lake Ripley. Just some interesting management options that we may be able to have, and he brought them up to me, so we're going to have some discussions about it. And then I can loop them into the bigger banded killifish project. You know, if you have these conversations, you can kind of fill them in on everything that's going on, so that's good. Purple loosestrife biocontrol project is going well. No complaints there. Beetles will be released in about a month is my guess. They're already eating the plants and making new ones, so that is good news. Our summer ripples is completed. I know it seems a little early, but everybody's kind of going on vacations. Big thanks to Doug and his team. They always pull through, and it looks really great. The annual meeting agenda will be in there, as well as our 2026 proposed budget. Our annual meeting is the third Saturday of the month at 9 a.m. I encourage you all to come. I did the Wisconsin Lakes Committee podcast. That was really cool. I was honored to be a part of it. Wisconsin Lakes is a great organization in Wisconsin, and for the Lake Ripley Management District to be asked to give our knowledge and expertise on lake committees is pretty cool. So it's about an hour. If you want to watch it, let me know. It's online. I can send you the link. I did have some of those meetings with the contractors for the preserve to discuss a 4-year burn contract instead of me going out and getting individual contractors to have burns each year. Let's make it easier, simpler, and probably cheaper on us. So those conversations are in works. I did coordinate with Pace Analytical to get the perchlorate sampling started, but obviously, as y'all know, the fireworks were canceled for the 4th of July. They're rescheduled for Labor Day weekend, so we'll just shift our sampling to that following weekend. Or not the following weekend, but that weekend. Wheat harvesting is going well. We have harvested 16.25 loads to date. Their schedules are working, no complaints there. We haven't had any breakdowns or anything like that, so can't complain. And lastly, the Preserve at Oakland subdivision update. If you did see, they're putting in that passing lane, the acceleration, deceleration lane. I didn't see any erosion control materials down there, so I did email John Didion yesterday, and he said, good call, I'll make sure that they get on it right away. So that should be happening sometime next week, and things are going well. He's giving us weekly updates, which we're appreciative that he's sending them to the district, because he just has to send them to the town, but it's nice to keep me in the loop. He's been checking after every rainfall to make sure those silt fences are up and all the erosion control is working appropriately, so everything's going well there.
There's a lot of debris on the road, I noticed at times, so be careful driving through there, and we are letting the contractors know, to clear the road at the end of the day or during the day. So there's a lot of stones in the road as you drive by, so be careful and go slow. It's kind of a mess for a while.
We've also, sorry, one other thing, maybe this will answer your question. We also have noticed that those dump trucks are coming up kind of quick over that hill.
Yeah.
So Laura and I, Laura, the
Through the
town chair, correct, through the dip, where it goes from 35 to 45. They're really accelerating there. Laura Payne, Town of Oakland, and I talked to John Didion and his contractor and said, could you please let them know that they're speeding terribly and it's making it difficult. Specifically for us, we're doing some preserve management in Woods 1, so we kind of have to leave it would be the west side of the road, pull into our preserve parking lot, and that's where they're coming up that hill with those dump trucks. So we have made
And
contact.
I'm in the passenger seat.
I've told them, Georgia, don't worry. Meg, did you have something?
I was just going to ask, I saw in the killifish thing
Yeah.
in your report, what are they going to do with all the sunfish?
Yeah, good question. I didn't touch on that just because I know we have a lot going on, but that was a big thing this month. There's 3 ponds, so we're shocking them, collecting them, and chucking them in the
And
other
chucking them
pond.
into the other pond. Okay,
Yeah,
so
if
it
there's-
wasn't like you're taking like these abundant, all these sunfish and just going onto the shore.
Oh, no. He
You'd
would.
stock the lake with them.
If he needed to, he'd use them for compost, but he has 3 other ponds on the property, so we're putting them in there for now. If there's any yellow perch, he actually has them at his Cambridge fish pond, so he transports them back there because he sells them.
Okay.
So yeah, they're not just,
Yeah. Okay.
but some of them
I
might.
just was checking.
I mean, I hate to say it, some of them might, because we do have to draw that pond down, in order for those minnows to survive, we can't have sunfish in there, they'd eat them out of house, they'd eat them
Yeah.
all.
Well, the biggest sunfish ever.
Yeah. Are you gonna let the pond dry out
We are.
beforehand?
We're
Because
drying it
so that
down.
the eggs, any eggs in there don't end up
Yes,
hatching?
we're
Okay.
actually drawing it down right now. We're going out there next week to get the remaining sunfish, and then we're going to likely overwinter it and do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it was just the thing that stuck out.
No,
when
that's
I
one of
read
my
that
favorite projects, so I'm glad you asked.
Great report. Any other questions? All right. Seeing none, let's move on to new business. I'd just like to give a update on our legal firm. So Adam
Dasso.
is our current legal counsel for Axon Law Firm. He is going to be moving to a different law firm and/or possibly his own. So I just wanted to update the board. He's been great to deal with. He's been dealing with all our stuff for a couple years now. So he'll be moving on. We will be assigned another lawyer from the law firm of Axley. We just don't know who it is yet. And as soon as I get the dates from Adam, we'll meet. I'm assuming I'll ask for a meeting to meet with the new representative. So I just wanted to inform everybody. Thanks to Adam. He's done a great job for us so far, and hopefully we'll have him for another month or so. So I just want to update everybody on that. Let's move into the approval of the 2026 budget approval, discussion and possible action. So the budget committee has met twice already to put this budget together for next year, and we need approval, so let's go over that right now. So you guys should have a copy of the proposed budget in front of you, and we can go through it line by line. If you have any questions,
Can you point out if there's anything that's significant in change here? I mean, I can see some small incremental things that make sense, but is there, like repairs, parts, supplies, that seems like that's growing really fast. Is that just because we have 2 trucks now?
No, this is specifically for the weed harvester, and it's because we need a new cutter bar. It's
Okay.
about $800, and we needed it last year, so I'm budgeting it for this upcoming year.
Okay.
Good question.
yep, so there's a little increase there.
One I can note is the cost share did go down by $3,000. We wanted to try to put that into our inlet stream restoration project instead, so we figured that would be a good place since the $15,000 doesn't generally get used every year.
And as you look at the line items, I mean, just slight increases, kind of in all the line items just to kind of try to keep up with cost of living.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing excessive in any of the lines, it's just we have to slowly increase these things to keep up. The repairs, yes, we added that extra bit for Lana and the weed cutter. But
General
other-
Lake Management,
What's that?
the General Lake Management, that goes up like 4,000, is there
What
something?
line item are you on here?
Yes, that was for our banded killifish project.
Oh, for the Billy, okay.
Yep. And the board stipend had to go up because we know one board member is leaving who doesn't take a stipend, so we had to add that back into the budget in case the new board member, they're allowed that.
Okay.
So
That's why you see that. Increases in,
sorry, go ahead.
just the normal increases for what we've approved for Leanna and the rest of the weed harvesters, so that's included. Just typical postage went from 100 to 200.
Preserve restoration and development increased for our inlet stream restoration project, as well as a bigger burn next year for more acreage.
Vehicle expenses, yeah, like you said, went from 2,000 to, so we increased the vehicle expenses 1,000 to cover repairs. Other than that, I mean,
Information and education went up because of mailing the ripples.
Yeah.
Okay.
we were able to drop the legal fees a little bit because we were able to take some of the
Land acquisition.
some of that land acquisition money that we had been using for legal fees, and some of that reimbursement for the development next door will be taken from that. So we were able to move some money around there, which dropped that line item a little bit. Other than that, I mean, do you have anything to
No.
comment on? I mean,
No, we've increased the things that need to be. We took a small decrease from those that we thought we could take it from, so we didn't have to have a huge increase in budget dollars year over year.
So last year's, I just compare the 2 years, so the estimate for the 2025 budget was, $217,556, and the proposed budget moving forward, we're asking for $237,431. roughly just under 20,000 or so
Yeah.
of an increase, which on a $200,000 budget, I mean, I don't think we're out of line at all. I think we're probably still pretty
It's,
tight
It's pretty
squeezing here.
conservative,
Right.
really.
Definitely.
That's pretty much what the committee, I mean, Debbie and Steve and Leanna worked on for 2 different meetings to try to get it as tight as we could.
Keep in mind, I have 30 other projects I tried to add into here, you know what I mean? So they were as conservative as they could be.
Yeah. No, it seems like a really exemplary attempt to do the most with the lowest possible increase.
Right.
You know, really.
Thank
It's
you.
very conservative.
Pretty conservative. We continually applying for grants, and Leanna's getting a lot of grants, so that continues to help us too. to keep
That
us
helps.
going. So
Boy, does it ever.
I think we're in a good spot this year. We also are planning on seeing the increase of property tax values, which will help, I think, everyone a little bit too, because with the more increase in values, it should help the district in that sense. So I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of change here, but again,
No.
those estimates don't come out until September or late August. So all this is kind of a big estimate until we really know for sure. So we'll be asking for approval from the board today for a proposed budget for the 2026 year of $237,431.
I so move that
Okay.
we,
Georgia has made a motion to approve the proposed budget. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Steve, second. Okay, is there any other discussion on the proposed budget? Okay, seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, nays or none, and motion passes. So what'll happen now is this proposed budget for 237,431 will go to the annual meeting for final approval. And that'll be the 3rd week in August. All right, thank you. Do that. Okay, we'll move into discussion and possible action on land purchase for the benefit of the Lake Ripley Management District. Meeting may enter into closed session as per Wisconsin statute 19851E to deliberate over the purchase of properties and investment of public funds. I would need a motion to go into closed session.
I make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll
Okay,
second.
Is there a second? I get a second. Okay, I will need a roll call vote to go into closed session.
Turtle Heights, aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, everyone. We're going to closed session.